So yeah, it's going pretty good. Actually, it's not. It's going very slow. What kind of music do you want to listen to?
Mariachi.
Mariachi music. She thinks mariachi is Merry Christmas. She thinks that's Christmas music.
Yes.
Now that Christmas is over, there's no more
Mariachi music. And she's very upset.
Yeah. So, good morning, beautiful people.
Good morning.
Goodbye, lady.
Yep.
So, you've got some errands to run
Yes.
first thing this morning.
Yeah.
The boys are going to have a play date with their friend Penelope.
Yep.
I utilized my help first thing to get this
Very heavy.
140-pound chunk of meat out of the trailer and onto the table. It's not that 140 pounds is that much, but when it's just a big chunk of dead weight,
Yeah.
it's very heavy.
Yeah.
So, got it in here, got it weighed. It's kind of crunched up because of how we had it crammed in the cooler. So I'll have to unfurl that.
You'll get
but
it.
yeah, it's gonna be another day of butchering, another day of cutting up meat. Hopefully I can get this whole thing knocked out today. It's gonna be a lot of time lapse, guys. So bear with us. I got two more chunks of beef to deal with. This one and the other side. And then we're done.
We're done.
Then it's all in the freezer.
Yeah.
So-
Hopefully it's all in the freezer.
All right, go run your errands, do your thing, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, before I get started, I thought I would talk about a very useful resource that I have had. These books right here, Adam Danforth, these books are magnificent. These books have, I mean, every little bit of information you could hope for on how to break down, in this case, he's got an entire book devoted to just beef. He's got another book that is poultry, lamb, goat, pork, basically all of the other bases have been covered. Very useful books. I can leave a link in the description. They've been a very valuable resource for me for learning how to butcher at home. It's one of those things, it's helped me. I would love to share with you guys things that have helped me. There really is no replacement for actually getting your hands dirty, but if you're kind of curious about getting into home butchery, those books are a great place to start. We are of the mind, the internet is great. There's videos everywhere that you can look to figure stuff out. But what if there's no internet? What if there's no power? That kind of situation. It's good to have books. It's nice to have something to fall back on. I am going to go over that book real quick on this section, since this is all crunched up and kind of, curled up from how we had it shoved in there. It's going to make it kind of tricky knowing the right place to cut. And it's so much bigger than a pig, it's ridiculous. I think it'll be all right. All right, I'm going to go do some studying and then get started. Working on making some steaks. There's my strip steak, New York strips. I got the little itty bitty filet. The rest of it is still attached to my sirloin. I'm gonna peel that out in a minute. But over here, Meg got home and is making some lunch.
Yeah.
We're having some homemade wontons, or not wontons. Dumplings. We made those a week ago or something. Made a whole bunch extra, stuck them in the freezer, and some filet. So this isn't the entire filet. There's been a couple pieces that have volunteered themselves for lunch. So so yeah, it's going pretty good. Actually, it's not. It's going very slow. The way the book says to cut up the hind quarter is not actually the way I wanted to cut up the hind quarter. There's a special cut. Everybody from the West Coast, and I mean it's coming across the US slowly. There is a cut called the tri-tip. The tri-tip comes out of, right here. It's part of it is attached to the sirloin, and the way the book describes it as separating the sirloin from the leg, the rest of the, you know, on a pig, that'd be the ham. If you do that cut, you cut right through the tri-tip, and I don't want to do that. So I kind of had to hit the brakes real quick. I had to go dig up a couple videos on YouTube, just random videos, finding people who cut to get the tri-tip rather than, you know, a lot of classical butchery. You just take the tri-tip out and part of it either goes to grind or whatever. But anyways, if you can find a tri-tip in your store, look up how to make a Santa Maria tri-tip. It's amazing. So it'd be really cool to be able to cook up a Santa Maria tri-tip out of this. So that's kind of been the holdup today, is like, okay, how can I cut this different so I don't lose my tri-tip?
Yeah.
There are so many different ways to cut, especially the rear quarter of a cow. There are so many roasts that you can get from this. It's, you know, the saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Well, there's about 1,000 ways to cut up beef. All right, I'm gonna pump the brakes for a second. Oh, you know what? I've dropped so much fat on this floor and cleaned it up, and then I drop fat and clean it up, and then I step in it and track it everywhere. I promise, Meg, I'm going to mop the entire floor.
I know you will.
Once this is done. I've got
That's all right.
1 quarter left. Well, I've got most of this quarter still. Here it is, like 3 in the afternoon, and I haven't hardly gotten anything done today. I just got the sirloin taken care of. Got a nice sirloin roast. I'm just going to continue, you know, breaking this down. One of the nice things about doing this myself and doing it during winter, it's cold enough. I don't have to worry about anything spoiling. I've got a window open. It's pretty cold right here. The rest of the house really isn't that cold, but I mean, it's cold. Like, this meat is still freezing my hands. That, you know, the land cool trailer, it keeps everything at like 33 degrees. So when we get that meat out in the morning, it is freezing cold. Not to mention, like, it was 25 degrees last night. Everything's pretty cold. Actually, when I brought this in here, because of the way it was scrunched up inside the trailer, I actually had to wait for it to warm up so I could straighten stuff out so I could actually cut it right, because it was kind of like curled up. All right, I'm gonna take a break, walk out in the beautiful sunshine because the sun is shining today. Me and Buggy are gonna go get eggs. Come on, sister. We gotta take the trash out too. Hey, let's get a basket. Hold on, move the handles. The handles get stuck. There you go. All right, you scurvy chickens. Looks like they messed up my net. All right, so we have a couple chickens in here that are egg eaters. They will sit in here, wait till someone lays an egg, and then destroy it and eat it. Once they start doing that, I have never had luck breaking them of it. I've tried everything. Usually they wind up in the stew pot. Like, it's pretty frustrating. Basically, we have enough chickens in here. We should be getting about a dozen eggs a day just out of this coop. We're lucky if we get 3. I have an alarm set, and we come out here throughout the day in intervals and check eggs. It's kind of a hassle. Like, it really is kind of a hassle. We'll see how we're doing right now. I can see a couple eggs. We'll grab them and then we'll go to the other coop and grab those eggs. Wow, someone was in here actively eating an egg. So that was a gray chicken. That's a bummer because I like the gray chickens. It's a bummer finding out that one of those is an egg eater.
Why are these wet?
Look at that. Because they're covered in egg. There's 2 broken eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. These will have to be use immediately eggs.
2 of 4 eggs.
Aha! Look at that.
What?
Alright, we got a couple in here. Ooh, that one busted when it got laid. That is a teeny tiny egg, Buggy. Look at that. It's tiny.
It's okay.
You know, we can eat it for breakfast tomorrow. It'll last till tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's not bad. 7 eggs?
No.
Oh, there is another one in there. That's because it rolled under that net and was safe. All right, let's go check the yard birds. I'm gonna be careful, I'm driving slow. So these yard birds, we hatched out, I don't know, 4 dozen eggs, something like that. A good amount of them are roosters, which is kind of a bummer. They will turn into feed. Let me get in here and see if we have any eggs in there. Oh, we got some eggs and golf balls. Yeah, the fact that this golf ball right here has egg yolk on it, we do have egg eaters. Yep, that egg's got egg yolk all over it. We got a fair amount of eggs in here. Well, then carry that one and that one. Don't put them in your pocket, just carry them. Or I'll carry these 2. Okay, don't drop them. We're feeding these chickens all of this feed and then they're eating all of the eggs. It's like, you either produce food or you are food around here. Okay, let's take all those eggs in.
Oh, that's a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
Look at that. You got a lot of eggs there.
Got 13 of them.
That's great.
So,
We passed winter solstice, and they're starting to pick up again. So
seems like it. I'm seriously gonna have to set up a camera and catch who the egg eaters. There was one in there. There's a gray one.
Yeah.
I know some of the white ones in there are the bad ones, but they're also really good layers.
This one has a little crack.
Okay, we'll use that one first.
All right, before I get back to work, looks like you're building a fort
All by her lonesome.
all by herself. All right, I desperately need to sharpen my knives. I haven't really sat down and sharpened my knives since Saturday. So, I just sharpened that one. I'm gonna sharpen that one. Those are really the only 2 knives I've been using. I think I used a big butcher knife to break something, but yeah. I'm gonna sharpen up this knife real quick, then get back to work. So for people wondering, I just used this cheap diamond stone from Harbor Freight, Diamond Life. It's like 12 bucks at Harbor Freight. These work really good for the price. There are so many knife sharpeners out there, and this one works for me. So use whatever works for you. You guys have probably seen me use the knife steel to just touch up the edge, and it works for so long, but after a while you do need an honest to goodness resharpen. These Harbor Freight stones, it's diamond impregnated metal. You've got 200, 300, 400, 600 grit. I find that the 200 is a little bit too coarse, but I have made my knives so hard, they hold an edge really well, but they're also a pain in the butt to sharpen because of that. But it is nice because they do hold an edge for a very long time. Work up through the grits, and when you're done, you're left with a horrendously sharp knife. Alright, then after I get up to 600 grit, this is just a piece of leather. This is a strop. Get you a piece of leather, use a little bit of polishing compound on it. Polishing compound is actually like, I don't know, 3,000 to 8,000 grit, depending on what you get. And then chase a burr. This will hone that edge to very, very sharp. When you start getting close, if you actually look at it, you can tell when you're rolling a burr up. This one has already rolled the burr off. It feels different on the strop. Like you can actually tell once you know what you're feeling for. There's still a little bit of burr on this side. It's sharp now. Man, I've wasted so much time today. The day is nearly done. I'm gonna have to clean all this up so we can have dinner. Oh, wow.
What?
It's cutting again.
Oh, is it good?
It was like, I was having such a hard time cutting anything. It was like, what the heck? Am I just like, have I lost my ability to do anything?
Oh.
Like this is taking me forever. Knife's not cutting. I'm having a hard time cutting fat. Oh no, it's just a horrendously dull knife. Alright, since it is like dinner time, I'm gonna put all this away. Nice thing about doing this at home, I'll just get to this tomorrow. So I'm gonna take just the round, put it back in the cool trailer. It's still really cold. And then I'll finish trimming up the flank and all that, and then clean up and we'll have dinner.
Cool.
It's amazing. Cut all that meat off and it's a lot lighter now.
Alrighty, while Ben's cleaning up and finishing that, I'm gonna get started on dinner. Tonight we are having gnocchi. I always make mine from leftover mashed potatoes. I don't like boiled potatoes, especially for gnocchi. That's too much work. So we had mashed potatoes left over from Christmas dinner, and so I just mix it with a couple eggs and then enough flour to make a stiff dough. And we're gonna party it up and roll this out and get gnocchi made and have that for dinner with some sausages. All right, you will notice that we are not putting the little ridges in them, which is typical of gnocchi because ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Maybe a little old Italian grandma, but not us. So I have been making them this way for years, just little tiny dumplings. They hold the sauce, they do just fine. So they'll be tasty regardless of the little ridges or not. These are the garlic sausages that we made. So letting these cook. We use the recipe in the charcuterie book and they're a little on the salty side.
That's an understatement.
They're pretty salty. Like the recipe as it was pretty salty. So I'm actually simmering these in water to kind of like cook out some
Hopefully
of the salt.
get some of the salt out.
So we'll let this kind of simmer off and brown up and then we will eat with gnocchi and tasty. I'm excited. Very hot. Be careful.
Very hot. Very hot. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Yeah, too hot. Can't do it. Sauce from this summer.
Yep. And
Man.
we'll do pesto as well from the other night. Whatever we didn't eat. So I'm just gonna heat these up, and then whoever wants red can have red, and whoever wants green can have green.
All right, was the meal sufficient?
Yes.
Satisfactory?
Yes.
Everybody's getting their seconds, polishing off all the gnocchi.
Yep.
This is the nice thing about doing a huge batch like that. Even if we don't finish it tonight, there's always leftovers.
There ain't gonna be no leftovers.
There ain't gonna be no leftovers. Like, I think gnocchi is one of those things everybody eats them so silly. So honestly, I don't know where they're putting it because I had the same size plate as the rest of them, and they filled their plates up again.
Yes.
It's like,
with like large portions.
yeah, like
know.
gnocchi's heavy.
It is.
That's a heavy
Very
pasta.
filling. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but they're eating it, so that's fine.
Today was one of those days, like, I did not get done what I thought I was going to get done. It's just kind of like,
it was a weird day.
it's like a bummer.
Yeah.
But
It's all right.
there's always tomorrow, so I know what I'm doing tomorrow. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.